Hello, this is Cece, and you're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. We are showcasing both Going Solo with Cece, and we're showcasing the Author's Corner, Meet the Author. And today we have with us Cherie Morris, and Cherie Morris is a certified divorce coach. And welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me today, Cece.
It is great having you. I tell you, you really are the uncoupling experts, you and your business partner. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, my business partner, Vicki Bohlweiler, is an amazing woman with a background in business. I am a lawyer by training, and both of us came to become uncoupling experts in a couple of different ways. My journey was based on the practice of law, a long-term marriage with children that ended in divorce. I felt during my own marriage and subsequent divorce that I had many wonderful tools at hand. I had a good lawyer, I had a good therapist, but what I didn't have in hindsight was someone like me, an objective thinking partner who could provide advice, very practical tools in the moment as I needed them, at a rate, frankly, much lower than that of a lawyer. Vicki had a similar experience after her divorce and believed that she could use her skills in business to bring the same kind of gentle accountability and help to clients. And we decided to collaborate and form Dear Divorce Coach.
That's wonderful. Well, I love the name of your company, Dear Divorce Coach, because it really does embrace what you're going through. And so often, we're going through the turmoils of divorce, we're in the pits of pain, and it's nice to know that we have someone that is objective, that can kind of help us get through some of those things and allow us to continue to make our own decisions. So often we don't want to be necessarily told what to do, but we want to be guided and helped and nurtured as we go through it. So I think what you all do is really fantastic.
Thank you, Cece.
Now, I do want to say a quick plug because I know you are a certified divorce coach, and I believe you did your training with Peggotty and Randy Cooper here in Tampa Bay area.
Yes, Vicki and I both did, and we both did it remotely. She's based in Long Island, New York, and I'm in Washington, D.C., but we had a wonderful experience with Peggotty and Randy.
Yeah, they're wonderful. They're great. And I've taken their course, and I would give a plug to them 100%. So they are wonderful. So that's Peggotty and Randy Cooper. If anyone's interested in being a certified divorce coach, certainly contact them. So we want to move right on into this because we want to talk a little bit more about the being objective as we go through. And you guys really do a great job at that, which is why I wanted to bring you forward. So tell us a little bit about how does it work, as you're going through the process of helping someone being, a divorce coach as yourself.
Well, thanks for asking, Cece. One thing I picked up that you said earlier, which really resonated with me and I think resonates with our clients, is that you don't want to be told, nor should you be told what to do, except, of course, the most extreme circumstances. There's certainly legal requirements of divorce, for example. But there are so many different paths on to and after divorce, and only you can know the right answers for you. And what a divorce coach does, in my opinion, and in Vicki's practice as well, is help you decide how to proceed based on your values. So we create a framework so that you can understand your values better, because so many of us live perhaps with an idea of who we are, but don't put those values into practice. So we gently nudge you toward doing just that and helping you do that. And we have lots of coaching tools to make that possible.
That's great. I do think it's so valuable. I really do think it's so valuable. And they didn't have this, when I was going through my divorce. And now that I've gone through the process of it and talked to other people, I do know how just how valuable it is to be able to have someone to be able to get you through some of those situations. So when someone's coming to you, what are some of the information that they need to kind of gather so that they can, be able to talk to you?
Well, it's a great question, Cece. And we have people really at every stage of divorce. So, for example, if you're contemplating divorce, but you want to understand, as so many well-educated women and men that we deal with do, we talk about a very different perspective than if you have post-divorce complications. But in general, if someone's contemplating divorce, we ask them to gather their financial information, all of their, legal documents, really all the things you can imagine that you would want to know about as you begin the process so that you can understand who you will be post-divorce. And so much of that, of course, is wrapped up in your financial matters. We want to understand your children, if you have them, what stages of development they're in. Are they still minor children? Are they adults? What their special needs may be. So really our first conversation with someone is all about where they are in that divorce process. And from that jumping off point, we ask them to gather many sort of basic fundamental documents, and we can even help them do things like think about their own budgeting if they're not familiar with that process. How will things look post-divorce for them? Are they already earning a good income, or do they need to, potentially re-enter the workforce? And do they need skills to do that? So we really try to meet them where they are. One of the things Vicki and I have done is write a book that's available on Amazon called Should I Stay or Should I Go? And certainly it is a book for those contemplating divorce so that they can understand more fully what's involved. But it also is a valuable tool for anyone mid or even post-divorce because it talks about lots of things that you need to know, including how to communicate, for example, with a soon-to-be or ex. Because assuming you have minor children, fortunately or not, you will be in connection with this person for likely a lifetime. So to the extent we can help you know and implement your own values in doing that and good boundaries, that's really what Vicki and I do as part of the process.
Yeah, I like what you do because this is, and I know divorce coaches, they'll help you through that transition as you go through divorce. But what I like so much about what I've read about you and Vicki is that you deal a lot with also the post-divorce. And I think that's so vital because, as we're going through, we have sometimes our team, we have, accountants or attorneys or mediators or whatever, and coaches, of course, but we have our team together. But once we kind of get through the stages of divorce, the actual divorce itself, then we're still left in that muck of things. And a divorce coach is really great because they help you with a lot of things that will take you after the divorce, so post of the divorce.
That's right. And one of the big areas of focus for us, because our clients need it again and again and again, is this area of communication. And it's really, in our view, one of the most valuable ways we can serve our clients and their children going forward. So when you're, going through this very emotional process, you aren't always doing your best thinking. And really, as we stand beside you as your objective thinking partner, holding your hand, and we look around at all that circle, that big circle of professionals you may have, we're the one right next to you saying, hey, Cece, have you thought about responding like this? Or have you thought about this issue before you respond? And there really is no one else like that among the professionals with whom you may deal. And that's why we think this profession is so important, even though it's, relatively new and people are really coming to understand what we do as part of those team of professionals.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you, we're going to have to take a quick break, but when we come back, let's talk a little bit about the communications, how we can go forward, not only just through divorce, but also after post-divorce, how we can really better open up the wavelength, I would say, of communication with our exes, with our children, with all of those that are involved with our families as we move forward in divorce. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about that when we come back. I have Cherie Morris with me. She's with DearDivorceCoach.com, and this is Cece with Going Solo. You're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. We are showcasing both Going Solo with Cece and the Author Showcase, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're going to bring it on back, and we're so glad that you all stayed with us. So when we come back here, we're going to be talking about communication, and we are talking with Cherie Morris, and she is with DearDivorceCoach.com. Welcome back, Cherie.
Thank you, Cece. Glad to be here.
It is great having you. Now, the first part of the show, we talked a little bit about just being a divorce coach and being really the objective thinking partner, which is so vital as we're going through the divorce. And so we want to talk a little bit about, just kind of the communications. How can we kind of make that open a little bit for us?
Yeah, that's a great question. What I like to do with clients, and I know Vicki agrees, is to find out first where they are in that process, what their mindset is right now with their soon-to-be or ex. Again, the ages of their children, how much interaction needs to happen. The first and probably best piece of advice we give is if you don't have to have contact with your soon-to-be ex or ex, don't have it. In other words, they're not the one you need to turn to in times of your need. You certainly should develop other support networks. It's a time to move away from them as a support. You certainly don't want them using any information you would divulge to them in a negative way. So remember that there are likely others in your life, and if you haven't yet created those support networks, we're here to help you do that and to help you learn how to grow. So as a first response and decision, if you don't have to communicate with them, don't. Begin to rely on other supports. That's in your best interest. And then secondly, if you do have an ongoing relationship with your ex, and so many people do when you have children, you really, as you think about it and you bring your best self to the moment, probably understand that you want that communication to be pretty good. That is pretty neutral and positive for your children, remembering that your children know them as 50% of themselves, that it's important that they not feel devalued or that they see you devaluing their other parent. Even, by the way, in very extreme situations, we're not pretending that it's always easy or that this person, your ex, is not behaving in petty, toxic, inappropriate ways. Our job is to help you manage that, even if that's the case, and develop a way of communicating, hopefully in writing, preferably by email, for example, that allows you the space to reflect upon what information is asked for and what information should be given. So we really have a way of thinking this through in really pretty easy 3 quick steps. The first point, as I said, is to really understand the communication. So what has been asked of you? What are they telling you and what do they need from you? If your ex sends you any sort of communication, either by telephone, by text, or by email, that has to do with your children, do you even need to respond? So reflect upon it. If it's just informational, terrific. Maybe a simple okay is enough. Even if it comes by text, I really recommend taking a moment of pause. It's so easy in text messaging to respond with emotional overwhelm. And I suggest that even if communication that's non-urgent comes in by text, that you perhaps summarize it and respond later in email, because again, it gives us more of a pause. And again, if it's a phone message, maybe you save the message somewhere that you don't have to see it or hear it every day, but it's important to create a record and then respond by email, summarizing perhaps what they've told you or you think they've told you and responding. As a second step, we say, remember, really reflect upon the communication. Even if you think they've said something poorly, email is really an unforgiving medium, as almost any communication text can be, but it may sound like it's either harsh or too direct or too businesslike, but really you now have a business relationship with your ex. So in fact, you're well served if it's direct. Certainly unempathetic can be another adjective applied, but we like to think it's simply kept strictly to business, and that's okay. So even if it seems too much like business, but it provides the information you need or requests information, don't take it personally. And we can help you, again, with coaching exercises to get to that place, which is easier said than done. And then the final step here, really, in communication and making it 3 easy steps, is communicate a short, neutral response. If you don't have enough information, say so. If you don't understand what they want, say so. Or if you have the answer, give it. But don't add a lot of extra language that says more than you need to. And in fact, Vicki and I recommend that you write a response, remembering to take out that email address, and say whatever you want in the first draft. Say everything that you want to do, and then delete it. And then come back.
I love that.
Just the essential information, and then save it and put it away. If you have 5 minutes, if you have 5 days, take the time you have. Don't think that you have to respond in the moment. Again, easier said than done. And one of the things we can do as coaches for you certainly is to look at particular emails that are difficult. But more than that is help you create a mindset so that you can do this for yourself. So
I love it. I love it.
Are 3 easy steps to communicating post-divorce with your ex.
Yes, I tell you, that is great, great advice. And it's so nice to have someone, like you and Vicki, to be able to help, individuals get through that. Because I tell you, that was probably one of the hardest things for me, was the communication, because my ex was always so, wow, right there, and of course, I was so hurt by everything that was happening that I would react in such a painful way. And it was a no-win. And so it just didn't get me anywhere. And it just made me, more painful for me. So I love the idea that, you write the email, make sure you take off that email address, and then maybe sleep on it. And I started doing that. And I think that helped me tremendously, of being able to step back from it a little bit before you react. So super cool advice. Super cool.
Thank you.
So thank you. That is why you guys are so successful. And now let's share with everyone your contact information. I know your website is deardivorcecoach.com.
Yes.
And then how can we email you?
So please just email us, Vicki or me, at coach@deardivorcecoach.com.
Okay, that's great. And then you can help people no matter where they're located. Am I correct?
We absolutely can. We certainly work in person, but we also work via email, via Skype, FaceTime. Almost any way you can connect, we can connect with you. And we're happy to do it. And we love serving a diversity of people all across the world, because we find that although there are certainly unique needs, we're all human. We all have human responses, as you described, Cece, in divorce, and that we all need support.
Oh, that is super. Well, I think it's absolutely wonderful what you do, and I want to thank you so much for being on the show with us today.
Thank you, Cece. It was a great opportunity, and you're a terrific host. Thanks.
Oh, well, thank you for that. Well, this is Cece, and you are listening to Cherie Morris. She is with deardivorcecoach.com. Please contact her, and doesn't matter where you live. If you feel like you do need to have that objective thinking partner next to you to be able to kind of help you through some of those things that you're going through, not only just through the transition of divorce, but even after, because I noticed even on your website, Cherie, you had about careers. Do you need help with doing your resume, profiling yourself, being able to move forward? So many of those things that we don't think about after divorce that we need help with. So I love your website. I love what you guys are doing, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Cece.
You're welcome. Well, this is Cece with Going Solo. You are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. We are the internet talk station for singles, and we hope that you like this show and many others that we have here with us. Just go and listen anytime you want. We have podcasts on the website, and it's www.goingsolonetwork.com. If you'd like to email me with any advice or any questions that you might have, or if you'd like to be on the show and be a guest, we'd love to have you. We'd love your comments. Just email goingsolonetwork@gmail.com. So we would love to be able to share and be able to converse with you to figure out what it is that you need help with. We want to get the shows there for you. So this is Cece signing off, and next time we hope that you'll join us each and every time. Bye for now. Thanks, Cherie.
Thank you, Cece. Have a great day. Take care.